been a long time. I hope you all are doing really good. Gives a thumbs up if you are doing really good. If you are here only for the mindfulness workshop, I won't take much of your time. चलिए. So I hope सब लोग की प्रिपरेशन सही चल रही है, सब लोग हेल्दी हैं, and अगर कुछ भी दिक्कत है तो रिकवरिंग साइड में है, ठीक है. मीन्स गॉड इज वेरी काइंड टू एवरीवन, हम ये मान के चल रहे हैं. एंड टुडे वी हैव अ वेरी डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ सेशन जो हम लोगों ने आज तक नहीं किया है. एंड द डेस्परेट टाइम्स नीड्स डेस्परेट मेजर्स, तो हम लोग भी वही चीज ट्राई कर रहे हैं. एंड विदाउट टेकिंग मच ऑफ योर टाइम, आई विल इंट्रोड्यूस मोनिका मैम, who is a clinical psychologist and also a life coach, and she'll be taking this session. Hello ma'am.
Hi, how are you, Nitish?
I'm good. Okay, so this is Monika Maini ma'am. She's a clinical psychologist, a certified life coach and rest. बाकी मैम खुद ही आपको पूरे सेशन में बताएंगी how talented she is. So the
No,
session,
I'm not. Yeah, please.
session is totally yours. Now अब हम ये नहीं बोल सकते हैं that the podium is yours. I'll say the screen is yours now. Okay. Please ma'am.
Thank you very much. Well, I really want to thank the whole team of EduBridge and who have given me this great opportunity to, be present and actually create something for the students who are our future IAS, IPS, or, all great officers and the budding officers of the country who are preparing. And I would be more than happy to maybe, add on to their lives in any way. So today what I bring to you guys is mindfulness. And before we step into it, I request you to maybe just, turn your screen on if that's possible. It would be really good. And Muzaffar has already done it. So thank you, Muzaffar, for doing that. And if more of you can do it, it will be really wonderful because, we can't do it one-on-one. So even if I can see most of you, it will be great. And also, if you will have any queries in the session, I would want you to put it in the chat box so that maybe we can take it up in the Q&A, which we'll do it in the end of the session. Thank you so much, Gitika. Thanks a lot, Rajesh. And I know it is, I've seen a lot of UPSC aspirants. So I used to go to a library. I'll give you a brief. So I used to go to a library, and while I was doing my psychology, and all the students that I would meet there would be just studying for UPSC mostly. So I have very closely observed that how much it actually takes, this exam as a whole. So how much you have to give up to be able to achieve something like this. So I hope this session would be of some help to you guys, and be open to it, be interactive. We'll do some exercises in between which will help you. So participate as much as possible. It will be helpful, right? So I'll just begin the session, and I'm going to share my screen. Okay, great. So what is there for you guys in the session today? So we are going to understand what is mindfulness first. It's not only that, I'll be just doing the session as such. I will make you understand what is mindfulness, because I know you guys are some cream brains of the country. So it's very important. Then we'll learn a bit of science about it, that how our brain works, what is basically involved in it, and why is it so necessary to be mindful all the time. We'll also consider some of the benefits of mindfulness in your day-to-day life, which will help you, maybe prepare better, live better, and have a great life as a whole. Because preparation is a part of your life. It is not the life that we're living. It is a part, it's a phase of life. So we need to enjoy it, and you need to, just go with the journey and live your life. Then I will also introduce you some mindful practices in which we will be doing the practice as I told you. And it's a very short practice. If done daily, multiple times, will help you be more centered. So before we get into mindfulness, um, what is mind? If I may ask you, what is mind? So if you can tell me, what is mind for you guys? What do you mean by mind? Anyone? How do you describe your mind? See, make it interactive. You can put it in the chat box if you don't want to speak up. Anything, I would be happy to see your comments. Okay, I'm not getting any comments, so we can go ahead and I can tell you what is mind. Okay, great. So if we go ahead and see, mind stands for, according to me, mostly inaccurate neurodrama. So what mind is generally, it is, okay, I have one comment here. So it says, Gitika says something where we semi-consciously think of and feel. True. So it's more of a drama, isn't it? So what we feel, what we think is something about us. It is not actually which is happening. It is more about what we are feeling. It is more about how we are perceiving things, right? But it is not something which is happening in real. So it is all the drama which is going on in here in your head, but not actually happening in real, right? So today we are going to understand the mind and how and what is to be like being mindful. Okay, mindful as a term, if I will look at it, it is actually being present to this very fact that your mind is doing nothing much but a drama. Okay, so being mindful in very short is just being present to that every second, every moment of your life. So let's go ahead and see how can we be present to it. So before I make you understand that how can we be more present to the mind as such, let me take you through the brain. Okay. So the brain, which is the organ in our body, so the machine that we are, it is the major organ which is actually taking care of the most of the mechanics in the body, right? So the all the activities, everything is taken care by the brain. We all know that, right? We have been studying it, we have been experiencing it. But there are three major parts of the brain which have in the if we look at our evolutionary history, that how humans have evolved. So you know that what makes human is majorly because of the brain or the higher level of consciousness that we are in, right? So how did we achieve it? I will not get into any detail of it. It's not a science class, so I will not bore you. I will just tell you a brief about it. And so that you will have an idea that what is brain exactly and what is it actually doing to you? What are the different parts of it? So if we look at the brain, so the brain majorly is divided into three major parts. Okay, the most ancient part or the old part of the brain is the reptilian brain. Okay, it is the old default mode of the brain which majorly is associated with our emotions in such as which is telling you about the growth. It maintains the temperature, basic survival instincts, all that you get from your reptilian brain, something which was evolved the it was or it is say that we can say it is the most ancient or the primitive. Post that came the limbic brain as we were evolving as humans, and then the limbic brain came which made us more conscious of things like feelings, or things like basic even more instinct of fight and flight response, so things like that. Eventually the brain became more conscious, And that consciousness came in with our thinking brain, the brain which gives you the cognition, the brain which gives you the capability to understand behaviors, the brain which gives you the basic, whole lot of emotions to connect with the world and the social life around you, which makes you more human, which makes you much more than the other organisms that we see around us, which brings us the feeling of attachment, commitment, to do something in our lives, to have a purpose in our life, to keep going, to create things, that is whole of it, which we call as human, has been somewhere driven by this new brain, which is the conscious mode of the brain. Okay. Now, if you have got the slight understanding of brain, so maybe we can go a little ahead and we can play a game here. So before we start the game, I want you guys to get a pen and a paper. So keep a pen and a paper handy with you. You all are students and I'm sure you have one. I'll still give you a minute. And so if you have it ready, maybe you can all show me thumbs up so that I know. People who are offline, great, thank you. Or people whom I cannot see, lovely. Smita, Saurabh, Shavni, I hope you guys, Akshata, Palak, Rishika, Vishal. Okay, so if we are ready to start the game, first of all, you tell me how many of you actually feel, or you keep doing multitasking? Yes. So, UPSC aspirant, we have to multitask. It's a default thing, isn't it? I mean, what a question. It's a wrong question to be asked. We have to multitask. I have to do polity, I have to do economics, I have to do maths, the GS part of it. Then I have to do my main subjects. Exam is coming, dates are out, October, it's hardly any time. I have to multitask. And again, my house, basic chores that I have to take care of. There is so much, isn't it? So, we will understand with this game how actually multitasking is impacting your brain. Okay, it's a very small exercise, and please follow all the steps that I do. And I hope you all have a watch or a clock, which will be there on your laptop also somewhere. You can maybe, or your mobiles, you can see the time. So you have to note the time for whatever we'll be doing. So let's start. So yeah, we'll be writing some numbers. We'll be writing some names, but nobody else's, your name only. So first exercise is you have to write 1 to 30 and count the number of seconds you took to write 1 to 30. Quickly do that. Your time starts now. See, we are not writing the UPSC exam, but yeah, you can be as fast as possible. And if you have got it, please share the number of seconds you took. You can write it for yourself, and even you can put it in the chat box. Okay, so if you have if you've got it, I'm sure you must have. We can move on to the next exercise. Now, what you have to do is you have to write your name, full name, okay? It's not you're writing just the first name. Write your full name. Write your full name and tell me how many seconds you took to write your name. So I think these are not even close to the task you guys are doing, okay? By the way, I think this is like the smallest, not even like a 0.00000 fraction percent of what you guys do. but still we'll see the difference. Now write the total time that you took to do the both. Just add them and write the total time you took for both the exercises. So once you have done it, now we will tweak it a bit. Okay, we'll tweak the exercise and we'll try and do multitask with this, with a similar exercise. So what are you going to do now is you have to write them again, but you will first write the number, then first alphabet, then second number, then your second alphabet. So alternatively, write the numbers and the alphabets of your name till 30. So you have to keep on writing it down. So even if your name stops or it finishes, you have to restart it. So keep writing it alternatively and write the full name along with your numbers. Please be honest and authentic with the time. Are you done, Muzaffar?
पहले मेरे पास टाइमर नहीं था इसलिए फर्स्ट 2 हुआ अब थर्ड टास्क कर रहा हूँ
Okay,
टाइमर
good.
के साथ
Okay, great. So if you will note, I think most of you must have done it by now. So if you notice, there should be some change in the timings that you might have taken, right? So if you can tell me, if you can post the amount of time that you took to write this, or if you can just give me an alternate, like the first exercise took you X and the second exercise took you Y seconds to do the same. I can see I guess Rajesh Meena has shared 26 and 39. So you can see the difference. And and Gitika has shared, it took her 5 seconds. And before she took 25 seconds and now 40 seconds. Manish took 34 seconds. So, and I think, these are the simplest thing that we can think of, that we can do. It is my name, our own name. And 1 to 30, something like we learned in nursery or maybe first. And easiest thing that we can imagine and think of. And it is taking you so much time when you do it together, right? So when you are trying to do two things, which are the easiest things which you can think of, it is taking you almost double the time to finish that thing. So I'm sure, you're getting what I'm trying to get into, and I'm trying to make you see that how multitasking is actually, affecting your brain. So it is very, very important. There, comes mindfulness. So it is very important to be mindful. And what is mindful? We will discover it eventually as we move ahead in the session. But if you will be more productive, and the timing, when you say, it will reduce, you'll be more efficient. The efficiency will increase. So let's go back to, the session, and we can proceed further and understand what is exactly being mindful. So as we were doing the exercise, we noticed the time and we discussed. So now if you look at, so there is a research which says that human mind on an average, has 40,000 to 50,000 thoughts in a day. So we are thinking people, human race as a, if you call it biologically, in the animal kingdom, the highest, we are on the highest level. And as that species, we are the most, we are ones who think so much. So just imagine 40,000 to 50,000 thoughts in a day. Can anyone tell me there are how many seconds in a day? There are how many seconds in a day? We all know the number of hours. So there are around 86,400 seconds in a day, which is almost double the number of thoughts that we have. But just the double number of seconds, just the double. Looks at a lot, but it is just the double. So how many times you're thinking actually? So one thought you're having every 2 seconds. Every 2 seconds you're thinking something. And what do we think as humans majorly? What do we think? Majorly negative. This is wrong, that is wrong, I am wrong, what I'm doing is not working, what I'm gonna be doing, we don't know. Am I preparing for this? Is it going to take me somewhere? So many lakhs of people, hardly any seats, 800 seats, 900 seats, 700 seats. They are reducing. Every year, the number of seats are reducing. When I see PCS, I have friends who have cleared PCS, have become officers, but they gave the exam in 2018, and now they have got the joining 3 years later. I'm not trying to scare you, but that's the reality of the, exam that you are in, or the career that you have guys chosen. And I'm sure, thinking negative or having those doubts and having that fear is a part of your preparation and your life, because it's a matter of your life and you're investing so much in it. But what are we doing with it, right? So all what we're thinking is like 70 to 80% of the negative thoughts. So what are we feeding our mind? So as what we feed our body, that's what we become. What we feed our mind, that's also what our mind is going to think, isn't it? So it is very, very important again here to be mindful of what you think, because every 2 seconds your brain will come up with something. But we have to make a conscious effort to make sure that we think something, we feed it with something which will be helpful for us. So how are we going to make that happen? How are we going to feed it with those thoughts consciously is what we're going to learn today. I really want, this to make it for you. Because I know how much your time is important. So please be with me, take it through the session. I'm sure you will get something which will help you in your preparation. Another part of how our brain works, so that was one part. Another part of how our brain works is a stimulus and reaction. I'm sure a lot of us know. So whenever there is a stimuli or any change, so if you're science students or you guys are studying journal science, so you must have read about the stimuli and the reaction response. So whenever there is some stimuli in the environment, there is some change, we react to it. It's an automatic process, right? And that stimuli is not always something which is happening outside, by the way. It has a lot to do with what they think also, right? How we feel also. So same thing will happen. Let's say if there is the same kind of weather, but two people will react differently to the same weather or to the same situation, right? So the feeling or the perspective there comes into picture. So now I'll share some of the stimuli which I feel or which I have noticed in people or students while I was preparing. Food. You guys are really into fitness and you want to stay up and you want to be focused. You do not want to fall sick. And when you see ice creams, then you feel, oh, this is what I want to do. But then, you're like, no, I will fall sick. The weather is changing. I'm not supposed to eat. So, you have that thoughts going on in your mind and you avoid it. Some of us feel about, when we see the chocolates or we see the sweets, and again, similar kind of feeling. And then comes the bigger thing. Oh, how can we not do this? But we have to. How can we not go and see the new series? And when everybody is throwing at us and telling us, "Arey, ye series aayi hai, ye wali picture aayi hai, isko dekho." But no, you can't afford to watch it because you have exam in 3 months. What about TVF, right? What about PUBG? I'm glad it has been banned, but I guess a lot of people, it was banned and it comes back, then it goes and comes back. People find different ways of doing it, but they just do it. Arey, game hi to hai. Arey, 5 minute brain ka exercise hoga. It's good for the brain. Mental exercise. Gaming is mental exercise. 5 minute. 5 minute or 10 minute or 1 ghanta, 2 ghanta. You know, that's how it is. I've seen people, brilliant minds. Brilliant minds. They were so sharp. And I wonder they could not clear the exam in one go, but they would invest 2 hours, 3 hours just sitting and playing PUBG and not realizing it. Or they will watch something on Netflix, maybe Game of Thrones, which is very in, or the Avengers. How can you not miss it? The more series. So we finally got the end game, and again they are launching Eternals. Oh God, I didn't want to share it, but yes, it is coming. So I'm sure you guys already know. But these are all stimuli. These are all the things that we see and which distracts us. So here again, it is important to be mindful of choosing, this is not for me right now. What is priority? To be able to do that every second without affecting yourself, not as because it is going to, it is something which is forcefully done, but this comes naturally to you. Because when it is forced upon, whenever something is forced upon us, it is, it will, the thought will get suppressed somewhere in our mind or in our subconscious, and then it'll come out, in some other way, which will become negative emotion later on. So we don't have to do that. We don't need to suppress it, but we need to overcome it. So that is important. So yeah, this is how we feel. Some of us get angry, some of us cry, some of us sad. That's all other different reactions. And then we end up having fights with each other because we can't say that we are doing so much. We all are humans. We all have bonds. The kind of age group we all are in, when it comes to the preparation, you all are like just graduates, or even, and in the age group of 21 to 30. So that is the age when we have a lot of energy and our hormones are really active. So we are thinking a lot. So, that's when actually you really want to do a lot of things. You want to prove yourself. So, and ultimately you are suppressing your emotions and it will come out somewhere else. Maybe it will show up in your relations, it will show up in your preparation, some kind of frustration. Maybe some people I've seen, they don't sleep, or they get into other substance abuse, anything. And a lot of other things that happen, which is a part of the preparation or the examination that we are a part of, or this whole system that we are in. Then there is one more research which probably which says that anger causes our IQ to drop by 15 points. So every time you're getting angry, you're actually punishing your own self unnecessarily, and punishing your own mind, punishing your own body, and going further away from your set target of doing things or achieving things in your life, whatever you are aspiring to. So how can we be mindful? How can we actually do things in a way which will help us overcome all this and focus on what are we wanting to do? You hardly have, like, I think October, so we are in July, August, September, so 2 months, 15, 20 days here and there, they will go. You will not even realize. So in these 2.5 months, what can I do every single minute or moment that it is actually counted, and it will help me prepare and take me towards the target. So every step has to be a conscious effort, a conscious step towards my target is what I am going to do, right? That has to be our focus or our thought. So we have to change. We have to change. When we see the stimuli, we are not going to react. We are not going to react when we see the stimuli. We will just be mindful and we will respond. So from being a stimuli reaction, we will convert it into a 3-step. Stimuli will happen, changes will happen. We don't have any control on it. All what I can control is myself. And what can I do? I can be mindful, and then I can respond. I can see what am I supposed to do. So how can I practice? I'm going to take you to the process of how you can be mindful. So it's a 4-step journey. Whenever you see a stimuli, whenever you face a stimuli, stimuli can be anything. I have seen parents, because they are over expecting. I have seen very few. I have seen what I've shared with you was more of a external stimuli, that as a person that we, or in this age group, that we see in our day-to-day lives. Thank God, considering COVID, that is a positive impact of it. The cinemas are closed, so you don't actually feel like going to PRs, or we have actually gotten over that habit of going to restaurants, because there's that fear of getting the disease. So we can look at the positive side of it. But those were also the stimuli at one point in time. But also it could be ourselves, it could be our own aspirations, it could be the delay. I'm sure there are a lot of us who are giving this exam for the 4th time, 5th time, six attempts are for the general category, if I'm not wrong. So it could be somebody whose last attempt, and they are thinking, if not this, then I have invested 6 years of my life into it, then what next? At that time, it is very important, whenever you get these thoughts, take a pause. Take a pause. How will it help you? So it will actually, that gap will actually help you understand what was the initial step, what was the initial thought which actually motivated me to give this exam in the first place. So you have to go back and think that. You do not have to get into the reasons of, now what is happening or future what will happen. No, you must have thought something. When you started your preparation, there was a zest in you, which there was a motivation, was something in you which drove you towards giving up everything, and then you wanted to sit and just prepare. Go back to that state. Think about that first day of preparation, when you were too excited, looking for institutes, looking for books, looking for the syllabus, and get into that same mode of confidence and motivation. So this pause will actually help you think through all that. I'm just giving you one example in the context of your exam. It can be done in all the different areas of your life. Then you feel it, feel the emotion. So as we feel it, automatically our body is designed in a way, it will help you heal. It will help you overcome all the negative emotions that you get filled with on and off, So get into that feel. Then figure out what was the intent. Talk about it. See it, See, you can even talk to yourself. Go in front of a mirror. Go in front of a mirror and talk to yourself. This is what I am. This is what I thought. This is what I'm going to do. And visualize it. Visualize yourself sitting as a DM, in the office. And how will you look? How will you dress? What are you going to wear? How are you going to talk to your people? What are you going to do for the country? Think about it. Visualize it very clearly. And connect with the silence inside you. The more you will become connected to your own self and the silence, the more clearer you become of what exactly you are and what exactly you need to do at that particular point in time of your life. When you are stuck, when you're feeling negative, or when you're not able to focus on the things that are important to you. So if you want, you can take a screenshot of it. If you want, I can share it with the EduBridge faculty and they can share it with you. But keep this in your mind. and keep going back to it, because this can happen multiple times during the day. So if you're done, I'll just move ahead. So we're going to decide, are we going to be mindful or full of things, or we will be mindful? So we're going to practice it. We're going to practice being mindful. So these are the few areas how we can be mindful. These are the few things that we can do to be mindful. I'm going to take you through one of the practices, which is experiencing the five senses. This is something which you can do while you are sitting anywhere, or maybe in your preparation, if you're sitting in a library that you go to, or if you're sitting in your room, that most of us, but these days I think most of us are at home and preparing from there, or some of them might be sitting in Rajendra Nagar. So yeah. So you can, for this, I want you to be in a relaxed posture. So you can maybe sit in a comfortable posture wherever you are, and leave everything aside, free yourself and sit as comfortably as possible. Once you are in that comfortable frame of mind, or in your comfortable physical sense, then I want you to take 3 deep breaths. When I ask you 3 deep breaths, I mean count 4 to inhale, count 2 to hold the breath, and with the count of 8, exhale. So that is how, and if you're not able to kind of, but you understand it is 4 to 8. So you can maybe 2, 1, 4, you can do it accordingly. But follow the same pattern and take 3 deep breaths before we start the exercise. Now, if you have silenced your mind and relaxed your physical self, now we are going to start with the exercise, which is called experiencing the five senses. So we all know that we have five senses, which are the eyes, ear, nose, taste, and the sense of touch, which we use every day. But do we really, really experience it? Is something that you're going to discover today. And you will also discover that how it actually changes your life when you start experiencing it. So, first, we will start with experiencing your sense of eyes, which enable you to see things. I want you to look around and become aware of your environment. Try to see something that you don't really notice around you. See a list of 5 things that you can notice around you, which you don't really see in general, which you have not noticed even after being them there throughout. Notice them, see them how they look. Try to sense it. See carefully the colors of it, the shape, how is it kept, where is it kept, and then think how long it has been there and you actually never realized. Now, once you have become present to it, we can go ahead and look at the another sense. We're going to see the sense of feel. We're going to experience feeling. Now, bring attention to the things that you are currently feeling. It can also be the texture of the cloth that you're wearing. It could be where you're sitting, the table or the chair or your bed. Anything that you're touching, that you're seeing. Be present to the feeling. Every cloth feels different. Every place feels different. Every chair feels different. There is nothing better than a place called home. There is a reason for it. Right? Get present. Look for four things that you can feel, that you have not felt or not actually become present to that feeling in a long time. Now let's go ahead and look at the sense of hear. Try and see or try to look for three things that you're noticing in your background, things that you can hear in your background that you normally don't really notice. It could be the fan, it could be your air conditioner, it could be the wind blowing outside, or maybe a little bird or a dog, or maybe the gadget, which we put on charging. That also has a sound, by the way. If you'll become present to it, you'll be able to listen. Become present to three things. Now notice smell. The smells of the things around you. Have you noticed when we go to a new place or a new house, every house has a smell? So our own house has one. We have one. Our own body has a smell. We become present to the smells around you. Pleasant, unpleasant. Don't try and filter it, Just become present to the smells that you can sense around you. Something that you might have kept in the kitchen or something which is just lying next to your bed or your bedding for that matter. Last but not the least, feel the taste in your tongue. Become present to the taste of your tongue, taste of your own mouth. Become present to your senses. Now, when you have become present to all the five senses around you, I want you to write down what is it that you're feeling? How does it make you feel? You can write it personally, you can write it in your notepads. You don't have to share. If you want to share, I'll be more than happy. And otherwise, you can just write it for yourself. How is it that you're feeling right now? What is it, if there is something new that you became present to or present with? You can just write in 3-4 sentences. So now when you have written your experience, maybe if you're comfortable, some of you can share it, um, or we can keep it and then we can move ahead. Is there anyone who would like to share? Okay, so we have a group of shy people. No problem. So if you felt good, you can just show me a thumbs up. If you felt something different, you can show me. Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, wow. Thank you so much for sharing, Gitika. Lovely. So see how much difference it has caused. So do you mind if I read it out? Is it okay? Great. So Gitika has shared that just before starting the session in my neighborhood, there was a fight going on. But when I started to look at the surroundings and feel, I could hear outside sound of birds, train, but could not really hear the fight anymore, you know? So see, you could feel so much more which was going on around you, much more than that slight negativity or something which was louder than the silent positive, you know, notations which were somewhere around you only, but not present to your sense. So if you move forward, so paying attention to the here and now requires intention and not force. So you have to remember this. It is not force. It is never you force yourself to do things in the present or to be in the present. It's just the intention. What is it that I intend to do right now? What is it that I intend to be right now? Is something which is going to take you further, okay, or help you further in your journey. So these are a few affirmations. If you want, you can take a screenshot of it and you can write it or you can say it whenever you feel a little low or when you feel that you're not focused enough or you're losing your motivation. You can make a note of these affirmations and you can write it down, you can say it loud as much as possible. It says, I'm completely in control of my thoughts and emotions. I find love and joy in every moment. I remain engaged and focused at the present moment. I release past experiences and live completely in the present moment. I practice mindfulness in every moment. So, with this, I finish the session. And if there are some questions or queries, I will be more than happy to take them up and help you. These are some of the resources, maybe the books, where I'm sure you guys are reading enough. But if you would still like to go and know more about mindfulness, you can read through these books. These are some of the apps that you can download and you can practice mindfulness. And if not the books, I personally recommend Gita. So I think that's the best source our ancestors or our religion has, or the culture has given us, or as Indians we have got. So even if you read one shloka of Gita, you will get a lot of answers. And Sanskrit is anyways good for our brains. If you will recite it, it will enhance your memory. It is scientifically proven. So you can keep the Gita, you can just read one shloka a day. It will help you kind of, get many solutions in your life. A lot of people have been reading it. I met a lot of people who have been practicing it, reading it for past 20 years, 30 years, 40 years of their lives, not one. And they have benefited it. I read it myself, and every time I read it, I learn something new. And I feel as if like I've always started, I've never read it before. I feel that, okay, this is the first time I'm actually reading it. So you can maybe see through that. And in the future, if you would like, we can maybe connect again through EduBridge again. So we can help you maybe discover your life purpose statement, which will make you more focused towards what is it that you intend to do in your life. It's a single statement. We all have it, but it's just that we are not aware of it. The only thing is, when as soon as we become aware of it, it makes us more focused. We'll understand stress and anxiety. We can also understand the different lenses. When I say different lenses, it means different perspectives. So we will understand, we can work on different perspectives, and we can build a positive attitude. All this will not only help in your present preparation, it will help you in your interviews, it will help you in your service as a whole. When you will be representing India, or you will be taking care of the administration as a whole. And trust me, it's not easy. We get a lot of civil servants who come and who take sessions eventually, because the pressure is way too much in the job, much more than what you are preparing right now for. So because you'll be handling so much. Then it will also help you understand your core values. See, as humans, we all have certain core principles, core values, which drive us. And whenever we are not in alignment with our core values, that is when we feel the conflict. So we can help you discover your core values. Much more to it. There's a lot more that we can do. I can't share the whole list of it. You can come up with the things that you would want to talk about, something that you're struggling with. You can always get back to Nitish or Vishal or any of your faculties. And then, maybe if I hear something, I can always do personal sessions, or I can even do group sessions like this, whenever required. So this is a bit about me, what I do, what have I done, and just a small bit how I've been contributing to the people and my life so far. And so if you have any doubts, anything that you want to talk about, you can put it in the chat box. Any questions, I'll be happy to take it.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Kritika.
Ma'am, I have my cousin. She has a problem of epilepsy. It means night fits. In night, she gets fits in that way. But it sometimes affects in even in daytime. So she will always in disturbed mood. She will be thinking in 24 hours. I think she will be just thinking about something, and suddenly someone calls her. Then she feels like someone will kill her. She speaks in that way, and she's preparing because her age is very young. I want to do something for her. So with staying with her, what else can I make? Treatment is going on, but staying with her, like I sometimes sing song for her and all. What else can I do? So I want to do something.
This is very good. Music therapy is very good that you're already trying. But you can play some, there are a lot of meditative music available online, soothing or calming music available. You can play that. You can also, if it is possible, you can do some pranayama. So I also practice yoga, and I've been practicing meditation myself for quite some time now. So pranayama works beautifully. So even basic, I won't get into the major or the difficult ones, but even I think if you do basic anulom vilom, or there is a practice called ujjayi, if you do that, or even nadi shodhan. So nadi shodhan works beautifully for the brain. Even you can do it. So you can easily find videos of it online. And then there is one asana which anyone can do. So what you have to do is you have to lift your legs up against the wall. So maybe you can lie on the bed, like your head is on the bed and your legs are lifted up, and sit in that posture for like 5 to 10 minutes. It really calms the brain. So just be in that posture, but it has to be done maybe like there should be a 1 hour gap between having food, 1.5 hour gap to what you're doing. So you can't do instantly just having after having food. So you have to, it has to be done empty stomach. Even Nadi Shodhan has to be done empty stomach. Anulom Vilom you can practice, but all the pranayamas are beneficial if you do after this, or if you can make her join yoga. Yoga will be very, very helpful. If till the time you're not able to do that, say I'll give you different options what you can start with. You can do basic Surya Namaskara. You know, even that will work wonderful. So till the time you are not able to find the right teacher or guide, start with basic Surya Namaskara, Anulom Vilom, and you can do that exercise that I've told you, one asan, 2 to 3 times a day. It relaxes the body, and you can play that music. Anything else?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. Yeah. Anybody else who would want to know something, or who would want to share something? Okay, so Nitish, I will probably hand it over to you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was a wonderful session.
Thank you.
I learned so many things myself. Yeah, thank you very much. And we'll hope that we'll come up with certain more sessions like this. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you all for joining. Thank you. Thank you, Monika ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.